The catalyst, in your own interest, of the elites, rulers, true rulers, and watching planners, I would like to point out, emphasize urgently, that you were completely wrong with your ideas of being responsible to let a better world species develop on this planet. Your interpretations related to the Bible, etc., and the prophecies written in it, what would have to happen respectively, you would have to do, so that the world faces the end and a better one can develop afterwards, are no instructions of God or cause of a spiritual mystical process, but are the resulting reflection of your own involvement, intervention of the artificial fulfillment process of these prophecies initiated by you. In plain text, you are with your all-embracing global networking organization, the sole producer and fulfiller of the apocalyptic prophecies which are contained in the Bible and other holy writings. Without you and your present actions, this form of apocalyptic prophecy would not exist at all. You reflect yourself in these prophecies and generate them yourself. You do not fulfill the will of God, but you always prove your inability to understand that these prophecies are help, warning for you to avoid this. You have not understood the fundamental quantum mechanical process of mirroring, to which in the book, The Apocalypse of God, again and again, directly or indirectly refers to, see e.g. book page 263 and 243 to 246, 237 to 238 and 267. The reason for the insertion of apocalyptic prophecies into spiritual holy books, as circle mirroring prophecies, originates from you and your actions, to a final battle originally triggered by you alone, which resulted in the destruction of mankind. This first origin downfall of your civilization was not triggered by an apocalyptic prophecy and an interpretation, action derived from it, but only by you, the human character, unfortunate circumstances and some mistakes of well-meaning but negatively influencing planning brothers. After, prophetic warnings for the prevention of this origin catastrophe were anchored in the past, in Holy Scriptures, these prophecies and your reaction to them in the next rounds were ironically themselves the cause for the destruction and/or spiritual material bondage, enslavement of your world. With regard to what man and all his brothers should discover and where they shall go, this is not an acquiescent alternative. In summary, by receiving prophecies in holy writings, they hadn't been ordered to implement this, instead they have been warned. The origin of all these prophecies is to learn from them, to do otherwise. The cause of all coming evil were you, with your plans and the spiritual, seemingly enlightened views of your watching brothers of some, compare 214 to 215, to this, who are still looking for the entrance to heaven, quantum hyperdimensional field, themselves in vain. Since very many runs were undertaken with the change of circling mirroring prophecies, the present run is now the last one and is combined with your always existing inability for self-knowledge and the resulting catastrophe events to be able to lead you out of the hole in this way. But also in this course of events it is still up to you, to your decision and attitude. Compare page 225, lines 7 to 19. What you, the recipients of the book, as well as the lackeys and elites, rulers, true rulers, and watching planners, have to do is to get involved with the book sent to you. Take it, it is the last chance to prevent a restart. The book is your catalyst for understanding book P 234, line 30 to 34. Orientate to it. Give it to people no matter what they will do with it and how they will or want to understand it. It will give back the balance to the whole in a difficult and devastating process and let them take the right way later. The indications already given and still hidden in the book are stamps of the truthfulness of its destiny. Show them to people too, together with the blog. Without making the book public, a reboot will take place without pardon. Also for your world brothers, who are literally struck by lightning. The annihilation of an intelligent species with subsequent emergence as a different intelligent life form at its old location, planet, moon, etc. in space, many millions of years later. Conclusion. Quantum physics must be understood as an opportunity, not the ultimate goal, the beginning of a way out of here. At the end of my blog, I would like to deal with the chances and dangers which the quantum physics offers to intelligent living beings. Thereby, I want to point out above all, emphatically, that quantum physics, mechanics, does not provide any access to a material paradise or other fulfillment goals in the matter space, but it is only a completely materialistic mechanical reaction originated from the hyperdimensional field influencing the matter world. The hyperdimensional field is thereby something which stands completely outside of the matter world and, seen for itself, has nothing to do with the concepts of quantum physics, mechanics. From outside, the field only produces the effect, quantum effect, within the matter world, but is not the quantum effect itself. A quantum effect is a materialistic reaction triggered by the penetrating, acting hyperdimensional field. In order to be more comprehensive for readers who have dealt with quantum physics already, and to not break the proportion, I have described the hyperdimensional field and its effects in the previous blog entries as quantum hyperdimensional field. The effects of quantum physics seem magical, however, they are a natural reaction within a materialistic dimensionality. In the hyperdimensionality own absolute, into each other merging, laws are valid, which are completely beyond the simplicity of matter. For everyday life, in esotericism and modern consciousness research, there are many voices that speak of quantum physics as panacea in terms of a detachment solution of spiritually natured problems. They describe the quantum physics/mechanics often diffuse, everything is connected with everything, because they don't know how one can apply this knowledge, use it or know for what it is actually useful, and conversely offer it as possible answer for questions, solutions, freedoms of all kind and its existential basis. But this is not the actual aim of quantum physics mechanics, simply because in the matter world everything is not connected with everything, here it is completely different. Materially structured things cannot be spiritually connected with each other here, but they can be entangled from the influence of the hyperdimensional field. Only within the hyperdimensional field itself, this connection, or rather unity, actually exists. Quantum physics, mechanics, is not the goal, but it can show the way within matter world and offers corresponding approaches for getting out of it. See page 227, line 5 to 10, expressly mentioned as uncertainty law, not as relationship. Mary, the direction is right. So don't let anything with warm and pious words in the name of quantum physics be sold to you. For example, if it is about your personal well-being in the matter world, regardless from whom it may come. Always pay attention when one points out to you divine thingly possibilities which quantum physics could produce for you in the matter world. Reject all spiritual thing-related comforts. It serves only body, psyche, feelings, emotions, and intellect, components of ours which are part of the matter world. Behind esoteric-leaning quantum physics definitions, there are only egoistically founded feelings and emotions of people stuck in this world. They have not understood what the coupling of the terms quantum physics and consciousness must be about and what this has to mean. They confuse body, psyche, intelligence, mind with soul. It is about a connection between classical science and spirit, consciousness research, soul, vibration observation research, in addition with truly free will, intuition, and the subsequent break of all adjoining, surrounding causality, laws, and reactions. It is not about spiritual frippery or twisted material meaningfulness. About the book and its shipping, 214 persons in almost all German-speaking regions of Europe received from the novel The Apocalypse of God by Alexander Laurent, pseudonym, anonymously from me, among the request for representation and description of its contents in public. These persons were mainly employees from all important Christian denominational churches of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, as well as persons from the alternative media. The dispatch was also made to some other states of the world. Date of dispatch, April 26, 2012, from Kassel. The recipients were left to decide for themselves how they would react to the book, whether or not they would take its content and interpretation into the public domain. It was promised that their identities would not be revealed by me. However, each of them received a list of those who were sent the novel. One additional recipient, number 215, did not receive a list of names and addresses of the others, only the hint that 214 more people had received the book with the letter. The 214 recipients also received no hint info about a 215th recipient person. The 215th recipient did. He was presented with the same request as the 214 people. After the mailing, no description or explanation was given by the recipients to the public. After the first 3 indications occurred at the end of September 2013, the 214 book recipients received a second final letter from me explaining the reasons for the book and their own role in it, thereby should be made understandable to some extent. Intuition was required here. Once again, there was no reaction from the public. The shipment of the novel took place with a mirror anchoring set at the same time, reinforcing the onset of the novel's catalysis. This mirror anchoring was a tiny event that will increase as a positive-negative effect, first proportionally and later exponentially. Only a very special compensation can stop the effect again one day. Otherwise, it itself will implement a final determination for all in the end. Some dangerous thoughts must be left just willfully for eternity. Translator's note: here the blog author has hidden coded information that is probably untranslatable. German Original: andernfalls wird letztlich selbst für alle eine endgültige Bestimmung umsetzen. Einige gefährliche Gedanken müssen eben willentlich auf ewig zurückgelassen werden. To the World Brothers: you have understood quantum physics, you know the effects, you know the realities of consciousness. You have also found out and know that the self, soul, does not dissolve after death, you always come back eternally. You know the secrets on which your ways of proceeding and reasoning are based, with which you justify your dealings together among others in the room and teach them in secret. For a long time you searched and found nothing. Therefore, some of you have already settled down in the material world, hung up beautiful pictures in their prison. Even those among you want to go home who are of the heaviest, sluggish heart. What is important is freedom, a freedom that you can attain only in cooperation with human beings. Treat humanity well. You know it is your only key out of here. Treat them well, because as so often among brothers and sisters, the older one has the power, intelligence, but the younger one has the gift, intuition, to use the quantum physics or mechanics correctly. You know that people do not need you, but rather you need them. Stop suppressing and influencing them continuously to receive the key. If you insist to continue, this will be the exact reason why you will not return home and free yourself from her facing the solution in 1,000 years, but will be pushed by her into the eternal and darkest abyss, new start for eternity, remaining in lowest forms of existence, triggered by a tremendous war which will sweep away you elder brothers defenseless and helpless. However, if you don't subjugate her anymore and cooperate with her clearly, without your concealment applied to her, it will be different for you in 1,000 years. You don't need to be afraid of her anymore, and of the war with her, which will grow out of the great dispute. Some of you half-hearted brothers made your voices heard a long time ago. You must now be consistent in your views, against the brothers and sisters who are heavy-hearted. You must cooperate, help. Without you it does not work. Finish what you have started. And don't forget, no matter what your decision was, action or refusal, you know that it sets in motion a mirror anchoring that irrevocably holds in store for you too, one of the previously enumerated destinies. P.S. We finish every development like lightning, at any time. P. 265, line 24 to 26 FF, P. 240, line 28 to 33 FF. To humanity, you are the chosen ones. You are capable, you have the gift. You are the kings. Children of mankind, let nothing else be told to you. You are truly pure of heart, moreover intelligent enough, even if this quality had to be added to your pool from the outside. In view of your intuitive potential, however, they did not know how to help themselves otherwise. Forgive them. Your brothers, with the heaviest hearts, will wonder until the very end how this could be possible, how something completely different could unfold than they had planned and prepared. Because only they had the influence on history. Sacred things, structures, imprinting of mental attitudes, etc., they won't be able to recognize except their ignorance and incapability towards an above-standing fact until the end. They are intellectually overdeveloped and intuitively underdeveloped, influenced by the pure doctrine of regularity because of their digital side, not able to understand. See blog entry of January 27, 2014, note number 4, paragraph 3. This note division and offset contains a realization key for later, likewise the lyrics, the two songs. But just like you, they also just want to go home. To the brothers in spirit, you also made yourselves heard loudly together with your brothers and sisters. You did things that set certain processes and reactions in motion. And now, what now? You must act. Do not follow any more the culture idea of your world brothers, the non-debt of karma, a philosophy which made you sanctify the means to reach the goal and the final goal, home to the hyperdimension. Your philosophy is full of holes, and it especially lacks the quintessence. They, world brothers, don't know the solution, and they have very little intuition, heart, soul, to get out of here. Some of them are extremely digitalized, others again only partially, but still have too little heart. Therefore they need you, your intuitive potential. Therefore also the numerous covered hybrid attempts with you in near and distant past. Their philosophy is correct insofar as there is no real guilt in the material world. Everything is just a game. And that only the realization gets us out of here, that this is all a game and the individual beings are not to blame. However, this approach has never really worked. They know this because they know exactly the limits of death and the return of their soul, have investigated and had to realize disappointingly that something is wrong with their philosophy, but they can't come across the solution themselves because of their nature, biological. Observations of the people, however, brought them closer to the solution again when they saw relatively many people with their souls returning. Now, they try to let a situation arise by the emergence of war and ruin, to let the souls already returned home come back. In realization of quantum mechanical reactions and patterns, they made themselves loudly noticeable, because this seemed to be to them the only way and possibility to let arise a situation which could lead them out of here, or to be able to observe at least once clearly at someone how one comes out of here. Your brothers and sisters are highly intellectual beings, and that is their problem at the same time, because they can only use their bodies, emotions, and intellect. They have very little developed soul, intuition, and that, moreover, irreversibly digitalized, without biological complementary possibilities. Forgive them, help. Intuition is the attitudinal level of the soul, a non-materially conditioned response, a frequency setting, which makes the real solution of the soul possible. Because not only the realization, as the brothers and sisters believed, that all this here is only a game, and that our soul has no guilt in itself, as well as that others have no guilt in others, is enough. This is only a part of the solution. It must be supplemented by our corresponding soul frequency, which we can only set specifically if we have a trained soul, heart, and that in turn starts only through conscious soul, forgiving and apologizing to others. That's where you start. P232, line 26 to 32 FF, P223, line 3 to 23 FF, P227, line 5 to 14, P289, epilogue, P233, line 33 to P234, line 18, specifically 9 to 18, that's the way, truly to let go from the heart. Only in this way can the Father receive us again. Therefore, do not let you be instrumentalized for the further way. Be free, don't be a bricklayer. Think and decide freely, then you are really free. The solution lies to you on the tongue. Emancipate yourselves. Rebel, you are humans, for you will have to decide, for all of you, whether Maria's mentions in the book are indeed only single returned individuals of past and already vanished civilizations means, or whether this describes will become the common story of the liberation of humanity and its world. Brothers, page 214, line 1 to 15, page 216 to 217, page 224, line 34 to page 225, line 6, etc. It is your decision whether the book and its catalysis will become an announcement, chant, possibility of a path to homecoming. So, whether Mary and Henrik crossed over individuals from present and not past civilizations, humanity and siblings, and Henrik's statement, I am not a human being. Page 213, line 12, means him only as a now hyperdimensional being, not as a being from an originally other civilization. Don't forget, through support, your consciousness, echo, already exists in the hyperdimensional field, unfolding the process. You must decide, you must reach out, you must understand, accept and apply the catalysis of the book. There is nothing more to say about it. To all, we all originate from a superior consciousness, the hyperdimensional field, the Father. Metaphorically, one could say we are, each for itself, a thought of that consciousness, the Father of the thoughts. Here, banished into the matter world, we are separate from each other as single thoughts, but not completely separated from the hyperdimensional field. We function similarly as an emerging thought of an individual, which performs an action, a grasping with the hand, a touching, a changing, a forming, etc. If one transfers this example to the relationship between the Father and us, however, a deeper sense of our doing in the matter world is absent. All matter shaping is exactly inconsequential, unimportant, not necessary. Contrasting what happens exists alone in the hyperdimensional field. Only the deeds for the return of the thoughts, our souls, consciously divorced from the matter, home into the origin consciousness, our place of origin, is of value, our way. In the matter world we remain only prisoners, and if nothing is done, one day eternally. A very strong thought has once led you all in here. If you seize it again, it will also lead you all out of here again. You can rely on it. You have to decide, you have to believe, because only belief, observation, and decision with free will create and change reality. Do it quickly, there is not much room for corrections, still have questions/comments or something important to do. You know where to find me. Save the blog and the video, keep the book. Every single one of the 214 people, including the 215th recipient, and anyone else who wants to carry everything to the outside, it would have helped you. If, contrary to expectations, I had to show up again, I would have clearly identified myself. Greetings and sympathy. P.S. Do you think it would work if you divided a number, say 23, by 2, and the result was not 11.5 and 11.5, but 12 and 11 instead? Or 13.2 and 9.8, so chopped up into values of different heights? Or could perhaps 5 and 17 come out, 22 not corresponding to the original value? Or could nothing come out at all, 0 and 0, just as one would like it? If you really want to divide it that way, it can be done with faith and free will. You must only ignore your inherent causal program, therefore an anomaly is created, which inevitably throws the rest of the surrounding causality into imbalance until system limited collapse and beyond.